Greetings and welcome to the Beers and Bodyslams podcast. Sitting across from me, the man that only eats things scattered, smothered, and covered, Mr. Fluffy.
Oh, wow. That's a Waffle House reference. Wow. That's a good one. And sitting across from me, he is the elf on my shelf. Good old JB.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's our Christmas show.
Yes.
Yay.
It's that time of year. I have no gifts for Fluffy or for anyone else for that matter.
That's okay.
But we do have a good show for you as a gift to all
We
of
have
you.
a unique beer.
Definitely have the most unique beer I've ever tasted in my life. Irish, as you can tell, is not with us for this show.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have him back.
He'll be back next
week. So, in his absence, Merry Christmas to you, Irish.
That's right.
Me and Fluffy are holding it down. Hope you enjoy the show. We've got a little fantasy.
Yeah, we're gonna ask Santa Vince for presents from the WWE. Last week's show was predictions we think are actually going to happen, like physical things, like matches and stuff like that. This is sort of the pie in the sky. This is the crazy crap. This is the stuff that I know is never going to happen, but it's going to be fun anyways.
Yeah, so we got that. The delightful, unique beer. We'll discuss all of that when we come right
back.
Awesome! This is the Beers and Bodyslams podcast.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
With your host, Mr. Fluffy.
Hello, ladies.
Good old JB.
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
And the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-S-T!
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Fluffy, where in the world did you find it? And tell the people where they can get it.
All right. So one of my local breweries that I enjoy a lot, which we haven't had on the show a lot, but I drink there a lot. It's the brewery I go to the most locally in Orlando, is Crooked Can out in Winter Garden, Florida. So when I was there last, I was doing some flights. They had a bottle release from some other stuff, and I was trying that. And they had on the menu something called a smoked sour. Whoa. So I went, okay, I'll drink anything once. And
You've proven that 900 times.
And the minute I tasted this beer, I went, oh, I'm buying this for the show. I have gotten JB into sours. Sours are a very, very unique segment of beer. Either you love them or you think they're absolute trash. This is the most unique sour, if not one of the most unique beers I've ever drank in period. We always talk about like what you can pair it with. You can't pair this with anything. There is nothing you could eat, smoke, drink, or do at any moment that will make this beer pairable. It is sour.
Maybe barbecue.
No, because the sour is going to kill it. That's what I'm saying. Is there's nothing. It's sours.
Nothing.
Yeah,
you gotta drink it on its own.
It's what its name is.
Yeah.
It's sour. It's definitely got a sour front end.
Yeah.
It's smoky. It leaves behind this really nice sort of hickory taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it does.
It's light. It's only 4%. So it's the kind of beer where you definitely could drink a lot of it, but I couldn't drink a lot of it.
No. I can only drink the charcoal taste for so long.
And I've had a lot of smoked beers. This is one of the most strongest smoked beers. And for a sour, it is unique. If you like sours and you are anywhere near in the Orlando area, go to Crooked Can, ask for the smoked sour, get a sample first.
Yeah, definitely.
But it is strange and bizarre. And
it's one of the things where you don't want to drink more, but you do. You end up drinking more.
Yeah, you I gave it to JB before we got on the air. I had him taste it first. And the look on his face with the look I know I had of, well, I know I like this, but I don't know why.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely one of those.
It hits on some strange.
It is very weird.
But it's good, though.
Yeah.
It's definitely good.
It's
So
good.
thank you so much to Cookie Can. All right. So we're asking Santa Vince for presents today.
Yes.
Things that, again, we know will never happen. We're going to have some fun with this. We're going to talk about, matches we want to see, maybe some new champions that we'd want to see, some people switch side to side, face or heel, or just some
maybe they
storylines.
do happen and we just, we talk it into existence.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you a match that I would like to see, but I know is not going to happen. I'm going to give you a match first.
All right.
I'm going to give you the SmackDown WWE Championship main event for WrestleMania that I would die to see.
I already know where you're going.
And it's AJ Styles defending his championship versus Kevin Owens and Shinsuke Nakamura in a triple threat match.
I didn't see the KO, but I figured Shinsuke was in there somewhere.
I want to see a triple threat match with KO legitimately pissed off, Shinsuke being Shinsuke, and AJ Styles. And basically the three of them are just told, this is how much time you have. This is who wins. Now go.
That's not out of the realm of possibility.
The way they're booking KO, I'm not sure. I can see Shinsuke moving in that spot, but I'm not sure. But I think that, but for WrestleMania, that's really quick for turn them.
I don't think this, because I think they're going to finish that storyline up through Mania.
But this is a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
This is the end of the night, before the Brock Lesnar whatever match.
Yeah.
This is the match that everybody talks about the next day.
Yeah.
Because these three just go out there and kill themselves.
Yeah, that would be great. Shinsuke, he needs that.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, even though he challenged for the title, it was still against Jinder.
Yeah.
And that was before he kind of established himself as a credible champion. So Shinsuke still hasn't had that spark since he came over from NXT. That I think that they originally thought that match would be gold.
Oh my God!
They're purposely keeping Shinsuke and AJ away from each other.
Oh, totally.
Because I think that you're going to see that sooner rather than later, though.
Yeah, but a triple threat match between the three of them at WrestleMania in New Orleans would just blow it up to the point where I almost know it's not going to happen because I think they know it'd be a really good match, and whatever came after it would
ruin
suffer.
Everything. Yeah,
it would need.
That had to be the headline.
Either it'd be the headliner, or it'd be a match and then a throwaway match and then the Universal title match. Like you couldn't have that then the Universal title after it, because no matter who Brock wrestles, would pale in comparison to the. Or you do it as an opening match because they've done that before where they'll have big matches in the opening. I don't think they do
not
the world
a title match though.
Well, they've done Intercontinental before,
not a world title.
But the world having the WWE title in that kind of triple threat. And again, I don't want it overly scripted either.
No,
like I really don't want them. Like they can script it out, but let them just go. Let
you really
them
don't even need a big storyline. Really,
nope. You just say these are the guys wrestling.
Yeah,
go.
Yeah,
and it would be crazy. And honestly, it's also the kind of match where you could legitimately go into it saying, no matter who wins, it's not going to like. There's no person in that match who could win that belt, and you're going to go, all right, that was stupid, or oh, that wasn't great.
Yeah.
The storylines coming out of it, no matter who wins, whether AJ retains, KO wins and continues his I'm the best here, or Shinsuke finally gets his shot, it branches off either way into great moments.
Yeah.
You're not, it's not one of those matches where you can look at it and go, okay, two guys are in it, one guy's just there. It would be a great match. All right.
I agree.
All right. What are you asking Santa Vince for?
I never, ever thought I would say this. Not this soon, at least. But I think it's time to break up the New Day.
Ooh.
And I'd like to see Big E get a singles push.
Do you want to leave the other two together?
Yeah, Kofi and Xavier can stay together. But I
think
as
a new tag team?
I think it's time to break up that group.
Okay.
The Pancakes have just done it for me.
I agree with that.
They've gone too far.
Yeah.
And now I'm on board with Irish that the stick is getting old.
Yeah.
They're kind of grasping at straws now with the Pancakes, and when he pulled the stuff out of his leotard, and that was too much for me. But I see Mark Henry type of success with Big E as a singles wrestler.
He has finally developed into a character I can believe in. When he was with AJ before,
He didn't have any mic
and
skills.
Dolph and all that, he didn't have the skills.
Yeah.
Now I definitely see
His confidence.
Yeah.
He can talk now. Have him heel. Remember Mark Henry?
No.
Face?
See, I go the other way. I would say leave him as the face and turn the other two heel.
Another two heel.
Yeah. You have Kofi and Xavier turn on Big E. And because then this is why. Because then you have things like Kofi or Big E versus Rusev and Big E versus Jinder and Big E. There's more potential, or hopefully a turned Bobby Roode down the line. I think you have more potential there
Possibly.
than you do the other way. And he's the more sympathetic character. Okay, if he turns the other two, it's the big beefy guy beating up the two little guys. If the two little
That's
guys,
where the heel comes in, though.
well, no,
The heat's going to be on him for picking on the smaller guy.
But I think, especially in the day and age we're in, it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, that's true.
Whereas if you have the two little guys turn on the big guy,
yeah,
then you have heat.
That's a right back reference, the big guy.
You big guy. You have that heat. You have those other two, and then you have a really decent little tag team comes out of it in Kofi and Xavier.
I think it's time. Eventually, I think they can get back together and recapture it. But
the Shields prove that
for the next year, I think they need to part ways and kind of freshen things up. But I like to see him get a big singles push.
Yeah, I could see him contending easily for the U.S. title and easily for the WWE title. I could totally see it.
Think about Mark Henry when he had his best run.
Yeah,
when he won the WWE title, world title, I should say.
Yeah.
That was the best we've seen him, and he was on the back end of his career.
Yeah,
so I could see something like that for him. I would like to see that.
All right, I like that one too. All right, so I'm going to ask Santa Vince for a wrestler that has disappeared and to be used properly and has potential. Is Ty Dillinger?
Yeah,
and I know it's sad to say that, but I have no idea where he is.
No, nobody does.
He is a great performer in the ring. He's sympathetic in a way that makes him a great little face.
Yep.
He's arrogant enough to turn as a minor heel.
Yep.
He's never going to be world title or WB title contender, but as a provoker for the Intercontinental or the US.
Yep.
As just an enhancement talent against somebody, he's a good guy. You put him against to build people against.
Exactly.
And I feel like he's been wasted.
He could be a good mid-card champion.
Oh yeah,
man.
he could totally be a singles champion. Yeah.
The fans love him. I don't know why. What they don't see in him. I haven't really heard him talk a lot, so I don't know what his promo ability is.
He's decent on the mic. He's not great.
Yeah. So
But-
I think that's what's holding him back.
But I look at it this way. Look what they did with Joe. You said the same thing about Joe. It's working with him, though.
Joe has, I mean, you have to work with the guy, but I mean, Joe had the cachet when he came in.
Yeah.
He had the support and the pedigree. So, they were going to give him, the time to grow and push him into the spotlight. But this guy came in. You couldn't have had a better debut for him.
Oh, his Royal Rumble debut at number 10.
It was perfect setup for him.
He was over, and then he just sort of he hasn't been on TV in months.
And I don't understand. Well, this is a whole nother show, but why you bring him up?
I know. Sorry. All right. What's your next question? What's your next request from Santa Vince?
I want to see that podcast, Kitty. I want to see Nia versus Asuka.
Oh,
but unfortunately, they haven't built Nia up.
Nope.
The way that they should have.
And right now, they're wasting her
to make this the impact as impactful as it should be. They got to build them up to where she should have been on a big undefeated streak right now.
Yeah,
Nia squashing people.
Oh yeah,
she should have had the women's title by now. And then you have her, Asuka comes in undefeated, and it's like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object type of deal. And unfortunately, they haven't done that, so that's why she's kind of having trouble. Well, they're not going to be able to pull that off. They're bringing an outsider like Ronda.
Well, this is the
fill
problem.
that spot.
This is the problem. Like this week is a perfect example. So we didn't get this week. We didn't get on the Raw just happened. We didn't get a whole Enzo video, but in the ring when they all came out to announce the Women's Royal Rumble match, Nia's in the ring, and then Alexa comes out. And at one point, if you watch the video, it's really subtle, but you watch it. They're weakening Nia every week because Nia's standing there all powerful, and Alexa's like holding her back. But it's this weird sort of, she's got her arms in the air and holding her back. I'm like, wait a minute. No. Let Nia be the beast.
Yeah.
Let Nia go out there and destroy. And I agree with you. And Nia versus Asuka would be crazy.
If they build it up correctly, that could have been the person that ends the streak.
Yeah.
And that's how you build her up.
Yeah.
But, like I said, they've dropped the ball, but I'd like to see that maybe even going into SummerSlam next year.
Yeah. But I want the belt on Asuka, though.
Oh, yeah.
I want Nia chasing the belt on Asuka.
Yeah. So I think she'll end up with it by Mania.
Okay. I can see that. All right. So my next one, funny enough, also includes the women's division because there's so much potential there.
There really is.
I want to see a women's tag team title match, belts. I think there are enough women now between the two rosters. I don't know if you could do 2 sets, but it's possible. You could just do it on one show, though. I totally think between the Riot Squad and Absolution and even the Mickie James Bayley team was pretty good. And Nia and Alexa and Naomi and Charlotte. There's some really good combinations, or even Tamina and Lana.
Yeah.
There are some really good combinations that I wouldn't mind seeing a women's tag team title match, like tag team belts. There's enough talent to pull it off.
Especially now. You got the Riot Squad, you got Absolution.
I mean, they're all there.
Yeah, you got plenty where you can pull it up. But at the end of the day, like, they're going to either need their own show or like a women's special. They have to find a way to showcase them all.
Well, that was one of my things would normally be, and I'm not going to say it, is I want all the women on one show, but I know that's falling on deaf ears and never going to happen.
Yeah,
but I would like to see all the women on one.
Yeah, we
show.
talked about that. The cruiserweights on one, the women on the other.
Yeah. But I think a women's tag team division, a solid women's tag team division, a set of belts would be amazing.
You may see that.
I'm hoping.
I think it may not happen, soon, but I think within maybe 2 years you may see.
We keep breaking records. I mean, last year we had the first Hell in a Cell. This year we're getting the first Royal Rumble. It's the next step.
A lot of it, though, like they said Monday, the fans. Charlotte said it Thursday. The fans.
Yeah.
They complained.
Yeah.
And the WWE listened.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see
I love it. So, all right. What's your next thing you want to see?
It won't be popular.
Fire in the Sky. Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
Sorry, Irish.
Uh-oh.
I would love nothing more than for Roman Reigns. It's this interchangeable, but I'm just using him as an example because he's probably the guy that's going to have it.
Yep.
I want to see Roman Reigns break CM Punk's record and push his ass down the charts another notch. His title reign that he had, that was
a long title reign.
I want to see somebody break it. I don't care who it is.
AJ, anybody.
I do not care. But CM Punk does not deserve that distinction as the longest reigning champion in the last
They did it to
10
AJ.
years. So
they destroyed AJ's
Nikki
title.
Bella took that one.
Yep.
Somebody got to take CM Punk's spot.
Yeah.
I would assume it'd be Roman, but whoever you want to put there, that's credible. Like, I don't want gender, but
how long is
now? Listen, they'll be there.
How long is
it?
Brock
Won't be a
had the belt?
part time. It won't be a part time.
Okay, it's got to be somebody full time.
No,
you want somebody every week.
I want somebody that's there.
All right.
That's putting the work in. You know what I mean? Roman Reigns, let him dominate for the next year. If you're going to anyway, look at it like this: if he's the guy that I think he's going to be to take that belt from Brock, as long as Brock's had it, let him be the guy that dominates it.
And holds it for how long was his reign? Like 300?
Almost a year.
It was over
about a year. Yeah.
Was it over a year?
Close
or less
to
than a year.
It may have been right around.
Now I got to look
if you're gonna pull the trigger on that, and he's your guy, then the next thing he got to do is show, I'm dominant enough to beat Brock. You can't beat Brock Lesnar and lose that belt in 90 days. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if he's the guy that beats him, he's got to carry the torch. He's got to be the next man in line to break that record. For me, it's the logical next step.
434 days.
He has to. People would literally hate Roman Reigns' guts.
Yeah,
but
400.
It has to be for me. I can't have that stain in people's memory bank, because what better way for me to suppress the CM Punk chance?
Yeah,
I got to push him back down.
So you're talking about Roman holding the belt for 434 days is a year and almost a year and a quarter-ish.
He has to. It has to happen.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a long. I never thought CM Punk would hold that long.
If you have a strong mid card, you wouldn't even realize it.
Well, they got to give him credible.
If you have a women's tag team, if you have all these, you're breaking these barriers with the women matches. Like the world title is just to enhance your product. But if you have 3 good hours of programming because you've built your middle card, you've built the women's division up, the world title is, it's just he's the face of the company. That's fine. But make him, if you're gonna beat Lesnar, make him credible.
Yeah. Well, I would also say is my next one is things I would like to see happen, and it's 2 guys that I want to see disappear from the company.
That's my next
this year.
That's
and
funny.
I'm gonna use 2, and they're Cena and Lesnar. I feel like Cena and Lesnar are holding things back. Not holding guys down. I'm not going to use that term of they're holding guys down. But I always feel like Lesnar's current run, I feel like is W going, oh, we're going to put the belt on this guy. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, back to Lesnar again. And every time Cena comes back, he
hasn't lost it though.
Well, no, but he lost. He got it back. I'm saying, but I felt like what I'm saying is they gave it to Lesnar. They gave it to Reigns.
He's had it since when? Mania, right?
No, he's had it.
He beat Goldberg at Mania. He hasn't lost it.
Yeah.
So he's had it for. He's gonna have
but
it
even
for
before
a year.
that, even before that,
he lost to Goldberg. Yeah,
yeah.
But he's had it since Mania.
Yeah,
he'll have it for a year going into Mania.
And that's sad. And okay, perfect example. This show is coming out Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So the big thing for tonight is Cena's coming back. The free agent's coming back on Raw.
Yeah.
So every time they want a ratings bump, or they have a show where they're like, "Crap, no one's going to watch because of," they run back to Cena. Survivor Series. We had injuries and all this stuff happened. So what they do? Oh, put Cena in the main event match. Those 2 guys leaving, and I'm not saying it for malicious reasons.
No.
I'm saying it because we need to move on.
Yeah.
We need to move to we need to give the guys like the Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, the Roman Reigns, the Bray Wyatts, the AJ. These guys are the company right now.
Well, I mean, as far as Cena, to his credit, he has kind of taken a step back. He's becoming a special attraction without a title.
Exactly. But I'm saying but I want them to let him rail off in the sunset. Let him go into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you're ready for him to be done.
I'm letting him free done. Him and Lesnar. I want them to be done.
Well, you'll probably get your wish on one of those. Because I'm pretty sure Lesnar's going back to UFC.
But I want them done. And again, it's nothing against them. And I don't mind.
You feel it better as a product with them not being around.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I feel like it's that moment of they're becoming, especially Cena. Again, it goes back to the ratings are dipping a little bit, or we have a show that we don't think is going to do very well, or this. What can we do? We'll put Cena in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the easy crutch.
It's their crutch, yeah.
It's their crutch. Instead of saying, okay, we have a show we don't, this way. Perfect example is Monday. Instead of saying, fine, on Monday for Christmas Day, we know the ratings aren't going to be great. So we're going to have, I'm going to use Lesnar as a bad example. Whoever the Universal Champion, if it wasn't Lesnar, we're going to have Lesnar wrestle for the Universal title.
Yeah.
No, we're bringing Cena back. Whereas I think the old days would have done that. That show on Christmas Day where they know the rings aren't going to be great, they would have done, tune in next week because we're going to have a U.S. title or an Intercontinental title match and a world title match in an attempt to bring people in.
Yeah.
Now they just go, we'll bring Cena back.
Well, it's not a bad problem to have, but I can see your point.
Yeah. But I think it suppresses creativity because it becomes an easy out.
But they're around for the sponsors.
Oh yeah.
So, you have to have a draw. And right now, like, who's the draw? You know what I mean? Like Roman. But you got to think, like, we can't, like, nowadays we have to think outside of the wrestling world.
Yeah.
Like now it's about national media. It's about sponsors.
Oh, I agree with you.
So you gotta, if that's fine with them leaving, I understand that point, but we gotta put, we gotta have somebody we can put in that spot.
Yeah, and they don't have that.
So like, it's like, you have a great employee or you have a great, player on your team. You don't get rid of them unless you have somebody better or equal value to replace them. So I understand what you're saying. I just don't think that they haven't developed that guy to step in and take that spot yet.
All right. But you see what I'm saying though.
Yeah, you can't you can't rely on, a guy that does not even full time that doesn't want to be there, and a guy that's 40 past his prime to be your.
And that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that's a crutch that they have to figure out. And that's something internally they still haven't done, which is when they're gone is the time to do it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're trying to put Strowman there, but he's not there.
No.
AJ can be that guy, but he's on the wrong brand.
Yeah.
You got to have...
And they've tried to build Seth. They've tried to build Seth, and there's the disconnect between... And it's nothing against Seth's ability.
No.
But there's definitely a disconnect between him going from being a really good upper mid-carder, a guy that can contend for the title, could be a solid intercontinental champion, but even when he held the belt, there was just nothing.
Being a good worker doesn't make you a great.
There was just something
great draw.
Like him and Dean had the same problem. Is I see Dean and Seth as great upper mid carders for a long time. Guys that are always in the mix for the championship or always in contention for the Intercontinental, but just they might get short reigns, but they're never that guy to push it over. You're not going to put the belt on them at Survivor Series or SummerSlam or at Mania. You're not going to give them the big stage.
Exactly.
So
they have to figure that part out.
Yeah. All right. So what's your next present you want from Santa Vince?
I need speaking of stepping away, I need the Brothers of Destruction to retire, and they need to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
As a group?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need Kane to walk away.
Yeah. He needs to retire. See, the problem is he'll probably be booked through Mania, which means he won't be able to go in this year. But it's just seeing him.
Yeah.
I know they want to give him one big send-off, and that's what this is.
Do you want Kane to go in by himself, or do you
want
him to go in?
I want them to go in together. I mean,
you want them going together, but they're going to go in individually too.
They're both standalone Hall of Famers, but I'd like to see them going to retire together and first be inducted together.
What if you did it? Okay,
because you notice he mentioned The Undertaker Monday.
Yeah.
So there's still that tie together. My Brother in Destruction.
What if you made them you could do with them actually? What you could do is
have them have a match at Mania.
Well, that or you introduce them individually on the same night, while introducing them as in other words, you do something different instead of doing like with the River Flair, where you did the Horseman and Flair.
Yeah.
You basically Kane's going in, Undertaker's going in. And they're going in as this. Like you do it, you don't necessarily have them go in as the Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah.
But you have them go in on the same night. They basically co-headline that Hall of Fame class.
Flair will go in by a third time too, by the way, with Evolution.
Oh yeah, he's going to his Evolution.
Yeah. But I see Kane wrestling and it's like, man, it's just time. Like why are you holding on to? I know you love it.
Well, he lost the election.
It's just it's time to let it go, man. You don't want to remember guys at the end like that when they're slowed down and it's not what it used to be, and you can tell they're struggling physically.
And he's doing things older gimmick that just doesn't work anymore. Like the sit up is cool.
I don't want to see,
but it just doesn't.
Like I don't want to see you with a pot belly trying to sit up. You know what I mean?
Heavy.
And,
breathing heavy,
and it's not a good look.
Yeah. So all right. Before we move on, I want to once again thank Crooked Can for your smoked sour. Whew, it's good.
It is good, but it definitely is. It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
All right. So one of the things that I want to see is, and again, it's sort of that I see 2018 being a big year for them, and they can make a lot of changes with the TV contract coming up. It's time to freshen a lot of things up. And one of the things I would like to see, and is again, I'm going to talk about somebody leaving, but it's not in the ring. I would like to see Michael Cole walk away from the desk and take whatever job he has every day and do that full time. Let the commentary team get away from him. I will say the commentary on SmackDown is fresh. Todd Phillips and Corey, and it's interesting listening to it, and it doesn't have the same feel on Raw, because when I get to Raw and it's Corey and Booker and all, it feels old. It feels very dated, and
he's been around for a long time.
Exactly, and and again, it's nothing against Cole. Again, Hall of Famer in a heartbeat. Cole goes in whenever he feels like
actually
it.
He is the. Did you know he manages the announce team?
Yeah,
that's his real life job.
Yeah,
so he runs all of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But it's time for him to step back, put something else in that spot, and if you're going to do that, put something like a Renee Young in there. Give somebody that opportunity to make it unique. Renee Young or or female, anything or something different in that spot to make it stand out. Because I'll tell you what, SmackDown's commentary sounds so much different than Raw, and I tune out Raw commentary. I actually listen to SmackDown commentary.
Well, you got two older guys, old school guys on Raw with Booker and
Corey's
and
Corey's trying to run.
Yeah, and he's it's a different. You can see the generational differences in the way they call a match or the way they talk about things, and it's unique. But yeah, I'd like to see it freshened up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind going down to 2-man teams to 3-man teams, but that's just me. I've been saying that for a while too. I'd like to see.
Now would be a good time to bring Ronaldo back up.
Yeah, Ronaldo
to Raw.
Oh, he'd be great on. He would be awesome on Raw.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to bring him up to that. And what you do is you test the teams out in NXT to see how they coexist, and then you go from there. But I would like to see that.
But I'd like to see a freshening up of the Raw team. And again, it's nothing against Cole.
I don't want Corey doing 2 shows though.
No, I agree with you.
Conflict of interest.
I want and you could hear it sometimes when he's doing commentary. It's tough for him, especially with you could hear it when we were doing Survivor Series.
Yeah,
he was very he was trying to say things on both shows to walk the line.
Yeah.
And it was very hard for him to pull off. I agree. I would like to see Corey. I wouldn't mind seeing Corey on Raw and somebody else on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Nigel coming up on SmackDown would be great. But I would like to see some really nice freshening up. And again, nothing is Booker, but I wouldn't mind if Booker was gone. And we really...
Well, he didn't want to be there with the Otunga situation, so he kind of had to fill in.
Yep.
I think hopefully they have a plan in place, because I don't think Booker wants to do it and be on the road.
No.
Even though it's only 1 day a week, I don't think he wants to be on the road anymore. So.
But I wouldn't mind with the talent shifting to a different generation, having a whole new generation of commentators and letting them run.
Absolutely.
All right. What do you got?
My last one. I don't know about yours, but
no, I think that was my last one.
I want to see more factions. I'm especially with NXT
Sanity,
having not only Sanity but just having the War Games.
Yeah,
I think
it's great.
That could be a good crossover pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Sanity, whoever, Authors of Pain,
Undisputed Generation,
the Undisputed Era, whatever.
Third Era, yeah.
Just put together more factions and use that concept, the War Games, for the main roster.
Yeah.
Have the War Games pay-per-view as like a standalone, and eliminate, a couple of the throw-in pay-per-views, and have a War Games pay-per-view, and have your faction for Raw, SmackDown, whatever brand you want to do it for. That's a great way to build talent.
Yeah,
to get guys over and have them run with what's established stars, and it helps like Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
he was a throwaway in the Wyatt family. The gimmick was kind of dumb, but Bray Wyatt was when he was at his peak, and he was he was involved with that group, You have going back even farther, Randy Orton with Evolution. You have guys like that can get their start.
Well, it didn't even start. It's a chance for fresh starts for a lot of people. Okay, I'll use like a Shinsuke Nakamura as a perfect example. Shinsuke's biggest knock right now is talking.
Yeah.
You put him in a faction, he becomes a star because you can have somebody else talk and he just goes out there and acts. And it's a great way of hiding some of the minor issues you might have with somebody. I look at this way. Look at the NWO as a perfect example. How many guys, and the Giant is a perfect example. When he joined the NWO, Paul White, when he joined, when Big Show joined them, he was floundering.
Yeah.
But because he had people around him,
that's what you need.
That were even, Buff Bagwell is another guy. You put talent around them.
Yeah.
Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were good.
Yeah. As the outsiders before.
And they were huge when you put them with Hogan.
Yeah.
And into those pieces. So, and I don't even want to see, I don't want to just see, if you're going to do that, I don't want to just see factions of Heath Slater, Rhino, and Brazil.
No.
I want to see
the Shield
massive.
Type, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like an AJ Styles. Or, okay, right now, we've got a good formation right now, one that could form. You've got a KO and a Sammy.
Yeah.
So why couldn't you put them with
have Daniel as the
figurehead? And you could take, I'm trying to think of a good team on SmackDown you could put them with that sort of floundering. You could put them with Rusev and English. You could totally, because you start putting things together of people that don't think they're getting the shots. You let Rusev and English lose a bunch of matches, and then you kind of, I'm just throwing ideas, but you know what I'm saying? You find those connections and you
pull a Tyler Breeze.
Or you pull a Tyler Breeze out and you put him with them.
Put him as a Shawn Michaels type.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even on Raw, Roman. You could have Roman form a little group. I mean, there's definitely things you could do, there.
I look at it from a business standpoint. How much merchandise? That's the best way to sell merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
The Shield t-shirts, they look good.
Oh, the new ones? With each of their individual signals on the fist was amazing.
And I'm sure they're selling those T-shirts like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best way to generate revenue and merchandise.
Well, look at this way. And we're
New Day, they've hawked a lot of merchandise.
Breezango.
Cereal.
Breezango has sold more T-shirts than supposedly a lot of people have, and they've had 3 matches.
So imagine a monster. Imagine a monster stable with the endless possibilities, and then, like I said, tying that into the War Games pay-per-view.
On Raw, actually, no, Raw already has its natural fit. It's the Club and Finn.
Yeah, they won't do it.
Oh, my God.
It's not their idea.
You put those 3 together and maybe even give them 4th?
And Finn needs it right now. Who needs it more right now than Finn?
Yeah. Both of them need. All 3 of them need it.
Well, yeah, clearly, but
you put them
seeing as
together,
where he came from, he needs it the most. Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind. I'll say, if you're gonna do factions, I also wouldn't be totally upset if you had factions that spread, in that maybe a couple members on 205.
Yeah.
Maybe, and even if you had one that was
where Paul Heyman comes in.
Yeah. Or you had one that was on Raw
do a Paul
and
Heyman
SmackDown, where it's sort of like a NWO Bullet Club idea, where it's a little bit of, it's not necessarily Raw versus SmackDown. It's Raw versus SmackDown versus other group that just wants to create havoc.
That's a Paul Heyman idea.
Oh,
That'd be perfect for him.
I don't want to see it spread to like NXT or something like that, because that would stifle them. But having it on like a 205, or having it between Raw and SmackDown.
Like a takeover faction.
Yeah. Like that faction, it's like, okay, we're here. We're also here. And then at Survivor Series, you get to have fun little 3-way matches. Instead of 2-on-2, it's 3-way matches of teams or stuff like that. Or like the Rumble becomes, think about the Rumble. Think if you had 30 guys in the Rumble and you have, 7 from SmackDown and 7 from Raw, and the rest of them were filled up with this faction.
Yeah.
So now you actually have a 3-way war.
Yeah.
And if one of those wins a championship, it's not a championship on Raw and SmackDown anymore. It's, my champion can show up wherever I feel like it, because we're both shows. If I want to show up on Raw, I'm on Raw. If I want to show up on SmackDown, I'm on SmackDown.
That's a good idea.
It would add to the Raw versus SmackDown rivalry, but it would add so much entertainment. And it would make you want to watch both shows, because you're going to wonder what happens next.
That's when, for me growing up, that's when it was must-see TV. When I had The Nation, when I had DX, when I had
NWO.
the Hart Foundation, when I had all the stables, because it created intense rivalries.
Yeah.
Like you literally felt like they didn't like each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what they need to get back to. Is the good old fashioned rivalries.
And that's the thing is I'll use the NWO example. What made the NWO great is before they screwed it up and added too many guys is you're right. It wasn't, I just want a title. It was literally warfare. It was
we're taking over everything.
We're taking over everything. And if you did that right, you could even technically bring back the NWO name in a way and really get away with it. This with the way the Shield is taken off. Oh my God.
That music would pop automatically.
Oh yeah. And you don't need the old guys.
No. You can start a new faction.
You can have, but if you do it, okay, I'll go back to, you do it right.
You can have one of them managing.
Exactly. You
Kevin
can have
Nash or
Kevin
somebody.
Nash. Or
he's probably the most active.
You have a Kevin Nash or a Scott Hall come in to bless it. Like it's not necessarily
they're stable,
but they're hearing these rumbles and they come in and go, "Oh, you guys are looking. Oh, you guys have been doing some things." Or you just
have him introduce them.
Yeah, here
and then step away
and step away and go, "I'm anointing you the new generation," and leaves.
Just come in and kind of talk down about the
because
current,
they own the NWO
roster.
name. It's theirs.
It could get over today.
Mm-hmm.
It could get over again today.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. If you had you have that warfare, and you have a Paul Heyman or even a Daniel Bryan in the role of the leader of it. Take Daniel off of SmackDown and let him just go. You know what? Because you're almost setting up now in this week when they did the Shane thing of I'm doing what's best for this company.
Yeah.
You could have him go, I know what's best. So give him like a KO and a Sammy and the club.
He would be a good leader.
Yeah.
This KO would be the good leader of the NWO.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
It'd be, but you take these guys that are disfranchised, and you go fine.
There was some Mojo in there.
Yeah, Mojo, the club.
There's a lot of we got to get back to that, man.
I would love that. I do too. I miss that too. I miss DX. I miss those.
See, like the Miss Raj isn't a stable to me.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's just a throwaway.
Yeah.
But we need the powerful stables and create some rivalries.
Yeah, that'd be fun though. Sorry. So tell us what you think of some factions. We can talk about that more when you're ready to put your beer down.
Beer, you're so dumb. You thought JB could predict pay-per-views.
Make sure you head over to vintagepressing.com, where you can drink coasters, luggage tags, phone cases, and more.
Follow us on the Untapped app. You can find this wonderful beer and try and see if you can get through it. You can follow me at good OLJB as I try and wish for 200 for Christmas from Santa.
We're going to hit 900 by the end of the year. So by the time this hits, I'll probably have a couple more. So we'll see where we go from there. You can follow me at Mr. Fluffy, and you can follow old Irish at the Irish O'Leary. Tell us what you want from Santa Vince on Facebook at Beer and Bodyslams Podcast, or on the Twitter machine at Beers Bodyslams, because just like most factions, our Ann disappeared.
Also, please, iTunes, review, rate the show, give us feedback, tell us what you think. All feedback is good feedback. It would only help us to improve the show. Also, we have a YouTube channel that you can please go to and subscribe to at Beers and Bodyslams Podcast. We'd love to get the numbers up on that as well. Trying to grow the show for you guys. A lot of good things happening in 2018. So please do that for us and help us out.
All right. Make sure you tune in on Thursday. We're going to talk about the Christmas Raw and the SmackDown afterwards. It's interesting they're both taking place in Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's we're not going to make the crew move around too much show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back next Monday for our topic show. I'm not sure if it's going to be the Brewskis yet. We got to talk to Irish, but those will either come next week or the week after. We're going to have the Brewskis.
Yes.
We'll figure that out as we go. If not, we'll have another show next week, and we'll have the Brewskis the second week in the year. That will be fun too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As always, make sure you keep your pint glasses full and your body slam stiff.
Happy holidays.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.